Imagine this. A dark night, a desperate person takes a piece of paper, writes their name on it, and dips it into salt water, believing that this mysterious act will protect them from the evil eye, jealousy, or even jinn. But what they don't realize is that this simple act could, in reality, open a door to something far more dangerous than what they were trying to avoid. What if you were among those who are mistaken without even knowing it? Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear brothers and sisters, welcome to Guidance from Allah. Before we begin, don't forget to hit the like button. Your support encourages us to bring you even more high-quality content. Believe me, you don't want to miss what we have prepared for you today, because what you're about to discover could forever change your understanding of protection and spirituality. If you haven't subscribed yet, now is the time. Turn on the notification bell to be among the first to receive our reminders. Share this video with your loved ones and leave a comment below to tell us if you've ever heard of this strange practice. Your comments mean a lot to us and to the community. Thank you for being here, and believe me, what you're about to hear could very well be one of the most essential reminders of your life. Stay with us until the end, because a powerful truth awaits you. Viewer question to comment on now. Have you ever heard of the practice of putting your name in salt water? And in your opinion, is it protection or a danger to faith? Brothers and sisters, understand this clearly. Behind every action we take, there is either a light that draws us closer to Allah or a shadow that distances us from Him. When someone writes their name and dips it in salt water, thinking it will bring protection, they believe they are acting for their own good. But in reality, they risk entering a realm ruled by superstition, fear, and sometimes even shirk. And shirk is the only sin Allah has vowed not to forgive if a person dies without repenting. Can we really take this risk for a simple ritual? Allah says in the Quran, "And whoever relies upon Allah, then He is sufficient for him." Surah At-Talaq 65:3. This is the true reward. If you place your trust in Allah, He grants you infinite protection, more powerful than any water, salt, or amulet. But if you turn your heart toward objects or practices, you drift away from the very source of safety. Imagine, you try to escape the evil eye, but by using an invented ritual, you deprive yourself of Allah's barakah. You think you are protecting yourself. But in fact, you expose yourself to even more fear, doubts, and spiritual fragility. It's like trying to extinguish a fire with gasoline. On the other hand, the reward is immense if you choose the path of pure faith, inner peace, unwavering confidence, and protection that no jinn, envious person, or sorcerer can break. The Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, left us powerful supplications like the recitation of Ayat al-Kursi and the last two surahs of the Quran, which are unparalleled. So, brothers and sisters, ask yourselves this essential question. Do you want to build your protection on sand or on the solid rock Allah has placed before you? Viewer question to comment on. Why do you think so many people still fall into these practices when Allah has given us perfect protections in the Quran and Sunnah? Let me share a story that deeply touched me. A sister once confided in me that she lived in constant fear of the evil eye. Every time she saw someone staring at her intently, her heart would race. She felt watched, vulnerable, almost imprisoned by her daily life. One day, a neighbor told her, "Write your name on a piece of paper, dip it in salt water, and you will be protected." Desperate, she did it. And instead of finding peace, she felt only one thing, an even greater fear. She constantly wondered if the ritual had worked, if she should do it again, or if she needed a stronger method. Then she heard a reminder about true protection in Islam. She discovered the supplications the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, recited every morning and evening. Ayat al-Kursi, Surah al-Falaq, and Surah an-Nas. She began incorporating them into her life with sincerity and trust, and what she felt surpassed anything she had imagined. Deep peace, serenity that no object or invented ritual could provide. Allah says, "Those who have believed and whose hearts are assured by the remembrance of Allah, unquestionably, by the remembrance of Allah hearts are assured." Surah Ar-Ra'd 13:28. This sister realized that true strength is placing her heart in Allah's hands, not in salt water. Today, she testifies, "Since I abandoned these practices, I sleep peacefully. My heart feels light. I feel that Allah is with me." Brothers and sisters, how many of us seek complicated solutions when the answer is so simple and within reach? Trust in Allah, dhikr, and protection through the Quran. Viewer question to comment on. Have you ever experienced an irrational fear like this? And how did you regain peace through the Quran and Sunnah? Brothers and sisters, let's take a moment to understand the path many unknowingly follow. The problem, it often starts with fear. Fear of the evil eye, fear of jealousy, fear of jinn. In some families, when a child falls ill without apparent reason, a project fails, or someone feels watched, panic sets in. Then, people look for solutions. And very often, these are traditional and popular practices. Writing one's name and dipping it in salt water, burning a paper with incantations, hanging threads, necklaces, or talismans in the house. At first glance, these actions seem harmless. But the reality is much darker. These practices plant a seed of dependency. We begin to believe that security comes not from Allah, but from the object, the water, the salt, or the secret formula. And this is where the trap closes. The transition, let's pause. Did the Prophet Mohammed, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, ever recommend putting one's name in salt water? No. Did he advise mysterious rituals to ward off evil? No. On the contrary, he warned us against these practices. They resemble sorcery and open the door to the influence of jinn and charlatans. Allah says in the Quran, "And mention, O Muhammad, the day he will gather them all, and say, O company of jinn, you have misled many of mankind." Surah Al-An'am 6:128. When we trust practices foreign to Islam, we expose ourselves to such abuses. The solution, but here is the beauty of Islam. Allah never leaves us unprotected. The Prophet Mohammed, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, taught us clear and accessible supplications for everyone. Ayat al-Kursi, Surah al-Baqarah 2:255. A powerful protection that no one can break. Surahs al-Falaq and an-Nas, fortresses against the evil eye, magic and jinn, morning and evening dhikr, preserving the believer at every moment. A companion narrated that the Prophet Mohammed, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, said, "Whoever recites Ayat al-Kursi after each obligatory prayer, nothing prevents them from entering paradise except death." Reported by An-Nasa'i. See the difference? Instead of a dubious ritual, you have a clear and authentic promise from the words of the Prophet Mohammed, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him. The climax, so ask yourself, which is better? Dipping your name in a bowl of salt water, in anxiety and uncertainty, or reciting the verses that Allah himself revealed as a shield for your soul? Imagine two worlds. In the first, you repeat baseless gestures, always in doubt, always in fear. In the second, you open the Quran, speak Allah's words, and feel peace descend on you like light. Do not let fear guide your actions. Let faith fill your heart. Viewer question to comment on. In your opinion, what is the best protection in Islam? Invented rituals, or the authentic supplications taught by the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him? Brothers and sisters, let me reveal something few people know. Behind these practices, like writing your name and putting it in salt water, sometimes lies a much more dangerous trap. Charlatans exploit people's fears to sell so-called protections, mysterious powders, papers with symbols, or strange instructions they claim are spiritual. But in reality, they are invisible chains that imprison the heart and divert it from the true light. Only a few believers, a tiny minority, barely 1%, know that true protection lies in simple but powerful acts. Prayer on time, recitation of the Quran, sincere dhikr. The rest, unfortunately, chase illusions. Imagine, while some spend their money on charlatans for a ritual with salt, others recite Al-Fatiha and immediately feel calm descend upon them. A sister testified to me, "I spent a lot of money on strange rituals, but my fear never disappeared. The day I chose to recite Ayat al-Kursi and the 2 protective surahs every evening, I regained sleep. It was no longer superficial fear, but true serenity, a feeling that Allah was covering me with His mercy." Here is the truth. Those who cling to these popular practices live in an endless circle of doubt and dependence. But those who choose Allah's path experience inner peace that nothing can match. So I ask you, will you dare to step out of the crowd and join this minority of believers who know where true protection lies? Or will you let illusions decide for you? Viewer question to comment on. Have you ever encountered a charlatan or a dubious practice that made you reflect on your faith? Share your experience so others can learn a lesson. Brothers and sisters, if this reminder touched